There's a signal rising through the haze. Global watchmen lighten up the maze. They don't flinch, they don't fold, digging deep, breaking the mold. Troop patrol on digital ground. Every whisper, every sound. Hey, eyes on the truth, no turning away. Global watchmen shining through the gray. From the shadows to the screen, they decode what the silence means. Click subscribe, let the veil be torn. This is the news we've been waiting for. Hey, hey, waiting for. Oh, hey, hey. They're not bought, they're not blind, calling out the ties that bind. From the towers out to the street, they bring the fire, they bring the heat. Algorithms can't silence the flame. When the watchers rise and call out the game, oh, no fear, no filter, no retreat, just the pulse of truth beneath the beat. Eyes on the truth, no turning away. Global watchmen leading the way. Every story, every thread, for the living and the misled. Raise your voice, let the signal soar. This is the news we've been waiting for. Waiting for.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Excuse me, and welcome to Global Watchman News. My name is Lori Swan. Hope you guys are all doing well. If you are in the live chat, we do have to keep it family friendly. There will be moderators in there to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forth to us by the platform utilizing tonight. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, so you know when we go live. All right, guys, it's been a while. It's been a minute. I do apologize. Yeah, life. Life happens. No matter what you want, no matter how bad you don't want it to happen, life happens. And so, unfortunately, I've let my responsibilities here, I guess, suffer a little, and I do apologize for that. I have to get a hold of Big John. I never know with my schedule. Okay, so since I had the car accident, it was a week and a day ago, so 8 days ago, still nothing from the insurance companies, anything. So, I mean, I have other avenues of income coming in. It doesn't have to just be Uber. I pretty much am on just about every other platform. When I say every other platform, I mean, when we talk about Amazon, Walmart, what else? Instacart. I do everything. Well, anyway, so I took Dave to work this morning. Wasn't sure what I was going to do. I didn't have, it was up in the air. I just didn't know what I was going to do today. And then all of a sudden this afternoon, Spark started going, looking pretty good. So I turned my app on and I got one delivery. And I went and did that. And I was actually just kind of like diddle-daddling around, and I got a 11 stop delivery, which means I had to go to a Sam's Club, loaded my car, my Jeep full, and did the 11 deliveries, and I came home. So it was 2 and done. It would have been 1 and done, but it was 2 and done. So I hurried up home because I really wanted to do this. I wanted to talk to you guys about what the heck is going on in New York City. Guys. All right, because I'm probably not going to have a filter tonight. Surprise, surprise. Let me just preface this like I always do and let you guys know that when I'm talking about things that can be labeled a couple, let's start with anti-Semitism. If you want to get technical about anti-Semitism, the biggest group, the most anti-Semitic, Semitic hating group is Israel. Plain and simple. Everybody associates anti-Semitism with the Jews. And I'm going to tell you something that's not. It is true to a point, but we seem to forget a whole other group of people, which are the Arabs, who, if you look in the Bible, who they come down from Shem, and but it's gotten to the point where it's just describes one group of people, and it's not. So when you look at it, what the true meaning of the word is, you looked at the Semitic lineage, you would understand that the people that hate them the most are Israel. So so don't back off me with that pointing a finger, calling me anti-Semitic, because you know what, it ain't gonna work with me. Okay, first off, it doesn't bother me a bit. I don't care. You can call me whatever you want. Secondly, I will come live and I will bring receipts and I will show you. Okay. Secondly, we're going to probably get a finger pointed at us. Oh, they're Islamophobics. I'm not afraid of Islam. Phobia is a fear of something. I'm not afraid of them. But I will call them out, and I will defend myself, and I will show what's going on and what's happening. And let me tell you something. What happened in New York City last night with the election, the mayoral election, and the win that Zohran Mamdani, I believe, how do you pronounce his name? On the outside, it looks somewhat benign, I guess, if you're blind. But it's anything but benign, okay? And I'm gonna hopefully show you guys why without babbling on. So let's take a look at Mr. Mamdani, shall we? So let me pull up image. Let's do an image file. So he is now, hold on a second. He's young. He's very young. He's only, yeah, let's do this. There we go. There he is. There's Mr. Zohran Mamdani. He is a let's see, where is he? I got him right here. Come on. What did I do with him? Hold on. What? Oh, I know what I did with him. All right, hold on. Okay, so he, like I said, he's young. He's very young. He is a 34. He's 34 years old. He is a Democrat, in Islamic, he's a Muslim, democratic socialist. He's a communist. He's straight up communist. He's a Shiite Muslim. He was born in, first of all, he's a member of the Democratic Party. Okay, I said that. He's a Democratic Socialist of America. He's a member of that. He served as a member of the New York State Assembly from the 36th district since 2021, representing Queens and a neighborhood of Astoria. Like I said, he is 34 years old. He was born in Kampala, Uganda. He's not even a U.S. born. He is married to Rama Duwaji since earlier this year. He has a bachelor's degree. I'm not even sure in what. All right. But he was born in Kampala, Uganda, to an academic filmmaker his parents were from India. He migrated to Cape Town, South Africa when he was 5 years old, and then to the United States when he was 7, settling in New York City. Mamdani graduated from the Bronx High School of Science, received a bachelor's degree with a major in African Studies. Hey, Dave, if you're listening. From Bowdoin College in Maine in 2014. After working as a housing counselor and musician, Mamdani entered local New York City politics as a campaign manager for El Khatiyam and Ross Barkan. He was first elected to the New York State Assembly in 2020, defeating 5-term incumbent Simotas in the Democratic primary. He was re-elected without opposition in 2022 and 2024. Last October, he announced that he was going to run for mayor of New York City this year. And in June of this year, Mamdani won the Democratic primary in an upset victory over Andrew Cuomo. That's about the only thing smart that New Yorkers did, was not elect Cuomo. And that's a whole another story. But I was kind of hoping that Silla would win. You guys don't know who the other candidate was. Back in I think it was the late 70s, early 80s, there was a group of vigilantes in New York City going around. They called, what were they called? I'm trying to think. Anyways, they were a group of vigilantes who would ride the subways and make sure that people were safe on the subways. His last name is Silla. And I think he would have been marvelous, a wonderful mayor for New York City. Unfortunately, the people of New York City thought otherwise. I don't know on what planet they thought that electing a Guardian Angels. Thank you, Rick. Yes, he was leader of the Guardian Angels, and they would ride the subways and they would make sure that people were safe. And he had a group, and he was just. I think he would have been. I would think it would have been marvelous. So, anyways, why do I think that this is a bad choice for New York? Well, Mamdani made some promises during his campaign. And there is a person, her name is Linda Sarsour, and she is his biggest financial backer. Or not, wait a minute. She is a person, she's a supporter of his, and she is outspoken, okay? And she's also spilled the beans on who backed him. And let me figure out which one I'm going to do first. All right, let's go to this one. Let's remove that out of the studio. Let's share my screen. There we go. All right, here we go. So this is, her name is Linda Sarsour. And she is, let me see, is there? Linda Sarsour. She's an American activist, a political activist. She co-chaired the 2017 Women's March, the 2017 Day Without a Woman, and the 2019 Women's March. She's also a former executive director of the Arab American Association of New York. She and her Women's March co-chairs were profiled in Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential Women or People in 2017. She's about 44, 45 years old. She's a Muslim of Palestinian descent. She first gained attention for protesting police surveillance of American Muslims after becoming involved in other civil rights issues such as police brutality, feminism, immigration policy, and mass incarceration. She has also organized Black Lives Matter demonstrations and was the lead plaintiff in a suit challenging the legality of the Trump travel ban. Her political activism has been praised by some liberals and progressives, while her stance and remarks on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict have been criticized by some conservatives and Jewish leaders and organizations. Sarsour has advocated for Palestinians in the Israeli-occupied terrorists and expressed support for the BDS, which is the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions campaign against Israel. So she is very active in the Muslim community. And what she had to say was quite interesting. Let me, I didn't get the whole thing, but let me pull up what I did get yesterday, last night while I was driving. This was on talk radio, and I can't remember which one, but you guys will hear it.
Jim Jeffries, the leader of the Democrats in the House. Schumer, well, he didn't endorse it, he didn't oppose it. That's your Democrat leadership.
Hold on a minute.
They created this scenario.
That's not the right one. Hold on. Where's the other one? Here it is.
We'll tell the story. The story is not just, that it's random that Zohran ascended to this place. It is our Muslim American communities. And I'll also say that it's Muslim money. The PACs that have supported Zohran, or a particular PAC that has supported Zohran, it's probably over 80% of Muslim American donors in this country, high net donors, grassroots donors. And I want to make the point that the Unity and Justice Fund PAC, which is the CARE Super PAC, was the largest institutional donor to the Pro Zohran PAC in New York.
Yes, CARE, the largest donor to the Pro Zohran.
Okay, so that was her talking. Hopefully you got to listen to her, but she said that the largest donator to his campaign was an organization known as CAIR, C-A-I-R. And it's the Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR. And it says, Sosar asserted during a panel that the Unity and Justice Fund was controlled by Council of American Islamic Relations and was a significant donor to Mamdani's campaign. The Council on American Islamic Relations backed CARE Political Action Committee was the largest institutional donor of the New York City PAC supporting mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani. Muslim American activist Linda Sosor said in September at the CARE 2025 Leadership and Policy Conference. Why is this concerning? Well, this is concerning because a lot of CARE's people that are associated with CARE, one being Hamas. Let me get to the other one. Let me put this full screen for us. There you go. This is from congress.gov, and it was written June 24th of 2025, referred to the House Committee on the Judiciary. The sponsor was Representative Fine Randy's, Republican from Florida. And it is a House Resolution 4097 that says it would designate CARE as a terrorist organization. CARE, soon after opening its first office in Washington, D.C., received a grant from the Holy Land Foundation for Relief and Development, a charitable organization that was closed and was just designated a specially designated global terrorist by the United States Department of Treasury for funding jihadist terrorist organizations. In 2009, Ghassan Elashi, who was a member of the founding board of directors for the Texas branch of CARE and the leader of the Holy Land Foundation for Relief and Development, was sentenced to a total of 65 years in prison after being convicted of 10 counts of conspiracy to provide and the provision of material support to a designated foreign terrorist organization. 11 counts of conspiracy to provide and the provision of funds, goods, or services to a specially designated terrorist as determined by the United States Secretary of the Treasury. 10 counts of conspiracy to commit and the commission of money laundering. 1 count in conspiracy to impede and impair the Internal Revenue Service, and 2 counts of filing false tax returns. October 2000, at a large CARE rally in Washington, D.C., it featured Speaker Al-Amoudi, later a convicted terrorist and Al-Qaeda financer, publicly expressed support for both Hamas and Hezbollah as the crowd cheered him on. This is where this organization was his biggest backer. If that doesn't raise red flags, if that doesn't tell you that we are in deep shit, I don't know what does. Now we've got terrorist organization getting people elected. Now, okay, let's be fair. It's not the first time. Okay, we know this. We know that there has been foreign entities, that have I want to say, intruded into our electoral. Who've gotten presidents elected? Let's just. I'm not. I said I wasn't going to have a filter. I'm not even going to have it. We know for a fact that foreign entities have given money to get people elected to high places. But the thing of it is it never was. It never was in our face. It was something that you knew was going on, and you could, I guess, you could bring the receipts if you dug, deep enough and follow the money. But to have it in our faces, to absolutely, without a doubt, have somebody who knows say that publicly. Yes, Rick, selected, not elected. I'm sorry. My bad. All right. So we've got, these organizations who have gotten involved in this guy being elected. If you go to look on Google or whatever you want to look at, you will see that CARE absolutely denies any involvement in his campaign. Okay. Sure. Wait a minute, that's not what I just had. What did I just have? Hold on just a second. It says, okay, the PACs that have supported Zohran, or a particular PAC that has supported Zohran, is probably over 80% of Muslim American donors in this country. High net donors, grassroots donors, Soar said. And that's what she said in the audio that I played for you guys. She said, I want to make the point that the Unity and Justice Fund PAC, which is the CARE Super PAC, was the largest institutional donor to the pro-Zohran PAC in New York. So you see where she's letting the cat out of the bag, and you just saw where I showed you that the United States has deemed CARE to be a terrorist organization. Zohran Mamdani got campaign funds from Hamas-linked outfit mentor Linda Sarsour. Palestinian American activist, Linda Sarsour, has claimed that the Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE, under congressional scrutiny for alleged Hamas ties, funded Mamdani's campaign for the New York City mayoral polls. Sarsour, who is Mamdani's political mentor, said CARE gave him $120,000, becoming his biggest funder. And like I said, if you go to look, they will completely deny it. But I did a little bit of digging, and I found that they were, in fact, one of his biggest donors. Now, she says that she is going to hold him accountable. This was something that I thought was quite interesting, because I'm going to give you guys a little bit of his campaign promises. One of his these are his promises right now. Free city transportation. So no bus fare, it's free. He's going to stabilize the rents. So he's going to put a freeze on it. So whatever the rent is when he comes into office will be where the rent is going to stay, I guess. Universal child care. He said that he's going to raise minimum wage to $30 by 2030. He says he's going to reduce the cost of living by raising taxes on big corporations and the wealthiest 1% of New Yorkers. And he's going to dismantle the NYPD. Yeah, those are just a few of his campaign promises. My head's spinning. Anyways, so Linda says that she's going to hold him accountable for his campaign promises. She says she's telling followers that she will hold Zohran accountable. Let's just read this. It says Palestinian, again, it's going to probably overlap with the others, but, you know, we'll get to the point. Palestinian American activist Linda Sarsour issued a thinly veiled warning Saturday night to New York City mayoral frontrunner Zohran Mamdani, saying that she will, quote, hold him accountable to fulfill campaign promises, including dismantling the NYPD units that polices terrorist threats, protests, and riots. Let me just repeat that for those of you in the back. She said that she's going to hold him accountable to fulfill his campaign promise to dismantle the NYPD unit that polices terrorism threats and protests and riots. Did you hear that? Get rid of the NYPD unit that polices terrorist threats, protests, and riots. Am I the only one whose jaw is on the ground right now? What the actual bleep? In a live stream on Instagram obtained by Fox News Digital, Linda told her followers that electing Mamdani doesn't mean that the network that supports him will let him do whatever the hell he wants when he gets to City Hall. Hello? Again, she says that she told people that electing him doesn't mean that he's going to get to do whatever the hell he wants once he gets to City Hall. So who's pulling his strings? Well, that would be the people that gave him the money. That would be CARE. That would be Hamas. She says, I just want you all to know that I'm not going to work for the Zohran administration. I'm not going to work in City Hall because guess what? There's got to be people like me willing to stay on the outside. Our friends on the inside need people on the outside to hold them accountable. We see you and we're paying attention. Say what? Say what? And it wasn't just CARE's money. No, not.
Ever changed a tire before? Don't panic. I just wanted to help people by sharing data.
No, I don't want to. Can't make me. No, I don't want to watch that. This is an interesting headline. It says, inside the Mamdani machine, Soros cash, socialists and radical imams engineered Zohran Mamdani's path to power. Mamdani got $2.5 million from George Soros. There is a reason why they want this man in power. This is going to lead to, let me put it this way. The people of New York or whatever, okay, selected, they just put in power a cancer. And that cancer is going to metastasize. And it's going to spread. And it's going to do a lot of damage to the body. There's a reason why socialism doesn't work. But mix socialism with radicalized religion, and you've got a ticking time bomb. The United States Constitution does not, how do I say this? The United States Constitution covers, trying to figure out the best way. If you are a different religion other than Christian, you would have a problem with the Constitution. Does that make sense? Because the Constitution gives us certain inalienable rights given to us by God. And when you have a different God than the God of the Bible or the God that is written in the Constitution, then you have it's a conflict of interest. Look what's going on in Dearborn, Michigan, for Christ's sakes. Again, it's a cancer. It's spreading. It's malignant. Look at Europe right now. The violence that these people bring with them has no place in America, has no place in the United States. They, again, I'm trying to stay politically correct, I guess. No, I'm not really. What the Quran says can't be ignored. Because the Quran, okay. Essentially what has happened is they've brought jihad. They've brought it to the forefront. It's no longer behind closed doors. It's no longer hidden. It's no longer talked about, whispered about, speculated about. It is straight up in our face here. It's here. It's now. And there's really nothing that we can do about it because it's going to be put into place on January 1st. What we have to do is, as a country, and what we have to do as those that stand up and defend the Constitution, is that we have to make sure that our feet are firmly planted on the ground, our I can't even think. Oh, I'm just, wow. Our arms are linked together, and we stand firm and we stand tall, because this is going to spread. Look what's going on in Chicago here. I mean, Democratic rule is complete and utter chaos. They stand for everything that is abomination, abysmal, everything. They stand up for everything that is anti-good. And then when you've got radicalized, which it is, when you've got radicalized Muslim who take the Quran at its word, you've put people, you put Americans in danger. Bottom line. In Surah 47:4, it says, so when you meet in fight with those who disbelieve, strike at their necks till you have killed and wounded many of them. Then bind a bond firmly and take them as captives. After the war lays down its burden, then either show generosity, free them without ransom, or ransom to benefit Islam. But Allah adopted this way in order to test some of you with others. Those who are killed in the way of Allah, Allah will never let their deeds be lost. Surah 9:5 says, when the forbidden 4 months of Islamic calendar have passed, then fight the polytheistic wherever you find them, capture them, besiege them, and prepare for them each and every ambush. But if they repent, then offer prayers perfectly and give obligatory charity. Then leave their way free. Surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. Surah 9:29 says, fight against those who do not believe in Allah, nor in the last day, nor forbid that which has been forbidden by Allah and Allah's messenger, nor acknowledge the religion of truth, which is Islam, among the people who have given the scriptures until they pay the security tax willingly and feel themselves subdued. And Surah 2:16 says, fighting in Allah's cause is ordained for you, Muslims, through you dislike. It may be that you dislike a thing and it is good for you, and it may be that you like a thing and it is bad for you. Allah knows, but you do not know. And it says there are 4 verses right out of the Quran. You can read and decide for yourself what is written is written. It says in the verse, what is it? Oops. My phone. Hold on just a second. Okay. Trying to find another one. Yeah, I just read that one. In the Quran, 8:12, it says, I will cast terror into the hearts of those who disbelieve. So strike above the necks and strike off every fingertip of theirs. These are verses that should alarm people. They really should. I really honestly did not think that we would be where we are right now. I really thought that people understood the dangers of Islam and how it does not, it's like oil and water with Christianity. Sharia law, most of the leaders, the ones that are involved with CARE, a lot of them are in support of Sharia law. Sharia law is as compatible to Christianity as, I don't know, going and reading the Satanic Bible. It's not compatible at all. They brought jihad to to our one of our major cities. We've said for years, I honestly thought that New York was going to be destroyed by a nuke. That was the scenario that I had in my mind. New York City is going to be destroyed by a nuke. It's going to be taken out. No, it's going to be taken out by jihad. But legal jihad, because they elected him in there. And you won't be able to say anything about it. You won't be able to talk about it. Because it's going to be just like freaking Dearborn, Michigan. Dearborn, oh boy. Dearborn. Dearborn's Muslim mayor tells Christian he's not welcome in debate on honoring pro-terror Arab leader. In Dearborn City Council meeting last week, Mayor Abdullah Hammoud told a local resident, Edward Ted Barnum, a Christian, that he was not welcome in the city after Barnum raised concerns about new steel signs honoring Arab American news publisher Osama Siblani. Fox 2 Detroit reported that the signs honoring Sibani were placed at intersections on Warren Avenue by Wayne County, not the city of Dearborn. But the mayor escalated the debate, telling Barnum, although you live here, you are not welcome here. Hello? He's more welcome here than you are. He said he's a promoter of Hezbollah and Hamas before quoting past remarks from Siblani. This is what Barnum introduced himself as Ted Barnum, Dearborn resident, and objected to two intersections being named after Siblani. He said he's a promoter of Hezbollah and Hamas before quoting past remarks from Siblani, including he talks about how blood of the martyr irrigates the land of Palestine, whether we are in Michigan and whether we are in Yemen. Believe me, everyone should fight within his means. They will fight with stones, others will fight with guns, others fight with planes, drones, and rockets. Barnum compared the sign to naming a road Hezbollah Street or Hamas Street, calling them provocative and stressing that as a Christian, he wanted to encourage peace. He closed by quoting Jesus, "Blessed are the peacemakers." And that's when the council members interjected, and they told him he wasn't welcome there. Yeah, Dearborn has the largest population of Muslims. And it's been something that I've been watching for a number of years. Actually, I think I've been watching for about 10 years. I think it was probably 2014, 2015 is when I started really, really watching it and watching the population grow and pretty much when they come here, they don't assimilate. They take us down to their common denominator. They don't raise up to our standards. They pull us down to theirs. And it happens straight across the board, not just, but all of the people that come in here. If we were to go to another country, we would assimilate. When you go to Paris, you would learn French. If you went to Spain, you would learn Spanish. If you went to China, you would learn Chinese. Not them. Nope. Mm-mm. Because they're here, we have to have our signs written in 15,000 different languages. You go over to Paris and they're written in two, French and English. Thank goodness Trump, because the United States never had a official language. We never did. Everybody assumed that it was English. English is our official. No, we didn't have an official language until this year. It is now English. You guys know who Jim Crow was? Do you remember the Jim Crow laws? Let me get out of here and go to this one. I thought this was quite interesting. The new Jim Crow in Dearborn. Dearborn mayor tries to put critic in his place with Islamophobia accusations. See, that's just it. As soon as you start speaking out against people and they get offended, I'm offended. Don't talk about them. Don't talk about them. You're anti-Semitic. You're Islamophobic. No, Islamophobia means afraid of Islam. I'm not afraid of Islam. I'm not, And here's the thing. It's not Islamophobia if they really are trying to kill you. So, no, get back there. Go sit down, Karen. Dearborn is not the place to live if you want to criticize government actions without being called Islamophobe. Americans who expect politicians to distance themselves from people who say nice things about terrorist organizations that have killed U.S. citizens in the Middle East should try to stay out of the city. That's the takeaway from the September 23rd, 2025 meeting in Dearborn City Council, where first-term Mayor Abdullah Hammoud refused to apologize for trying to bully Christian evangelist Ted Barnum into leaving the city at a previous city council meeting on September 9th of 2025. Barnum attracted the mayor's ire that meeting by complaining about the naming of a busy intersection after Hammond's supporter, who, in addition to praising former Hezbollah leader, once joked about sending Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu back to Poland. Well, well, if the shoe fits, if the Polish shoe fits. Not only did Hammond, the mayor of the city with more than 100,000 residents, 55% of whom are Muslim, fail to apologize for bullying Barnum in the vain effort to get him to leave the city, not one council member offered a word of criticism of Hamas and Hezbollah after they were challenged to do so by one of the more than 100 audience members who showed up to attend the September 23rd city council meeting. Do you definitely, unequivocally, by name, denounce Hamas and Hezbollah, or do you support them? Dearborn resident Anthony Deegan asked the council members in the September 23rd meeting. He got nothing in response. With the silence, the council lent credence to Burnham's concerns about the naming of the intersection of Warren Avenue and Chase Road after Osama Sablami, the founding publisher of Arab American News. According to the ADL, which is the Anti-Defamation League, Salbani told the Chicago Tribune in 2006 that if the FBI wants to come after those who support the resistance done by Hezbollah, then they better bring a fleet of buses. I, for one, will be willing to go to jail. Sablani's need about a fleet of buses to arrest Hezbollah supporters on the regions was no joke. In 2024, Dearborn hosted the Al-Quds Day celebration, during which protesters called for America and Israel's destruction. Yeah. That's what happens when these people get together and they start chanting death to America. And here's the thing. When this happens in New York City, because it will, and you have Hezbollah and Hamas-backed terrorists marching in the streets, because you will, there won't be any NYPD to go and police it, because they're going to be disbanded, according to what is his name? Whatever, the new mayor. World of shit, world of hurt. Oh my Lord, yeah. It is this world is surreal. This world, it's bizarro world. Do you know how many? And I know Debbie, I know you, Rick, and I knew Ken. You guys do it too. how many times a day do you guys just go, what the fuck? I must do it 10 times a day. Like, what did I just read? What did I just see? What did I just watch? I've been watching Caitlin Bennett from her YouTube channel. Caitlin is she's kind of female. She's a female Charlie Kirk. She started out at Turning Point USA. Her and Charlie had a really public, ugly falling out a few years ago. But she does basically the same thing Charlie does, or did. And I gotta say, watching her have interactions with the left, I have never seen they're demons. They're demons. They are just everything that we stand for. They hate God. They do. They hate God. They have no value for life, unless, of course, you are confused about your gender. They can't define what a woman is. They're all about feelings. Everything is their feelings. I was watching the other day. She was at a No Kings rally. And there was a gentleman older than me. He had to be in his, I think he was older than Dave. I think he had to be in his 70s. And he was literally whining about Trump. I mean, literally, he was whining. He was saying to her something about how babies are nothing. They're nothing. She asked him. She said, when does this thing inside of a woman, when does it become human? When do you consider it human? And he said, when it takes its first breath. Huh. That's funny. Some people say it's when the heart starts beating. No, go back a little further than that. When the spark of life hits. It's when the sperm breaks through the corona of the egg, and you have that spark, you have that flash of light. You cannot convince me otherwise. So that is not when life begins. That spark. It's when the sperm breaks through the corona of the egg and fertilization takes place. This man was, I swear, he was a demon talking to her. The left is lost their minds. And when you ask them specifics, they can't tell you. They don't like, they don't like this and they don't like that. But if you ask for specifics, like they'll say, Trump's getting people killed. And she's like, who? Well, no, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. She'll say, the people will say something about ICE. She told one lady, because the lady said, oh, Trump's got illegals working for him at Mar-a-Lago. And Caitlin goes, he does. Let's call ICE. She's like, well, she's like, I don't have the number. Caitlin goes, I'll get you the number. Let's call ICE. We should have them, because otherwise you're being complacent. Otherwise, something, to be a fact, and you're not doing anything about it. I'm holding you responsible for that. And they were like, get her out of here. We don't want to talk to her anymore. It's just, listening to the polls last night, I was actually quite shocked at the number of Democrats that were elected last night. Oh. Yeah. This is going to be something that is going to be something that's going to be quite interesting. Right created the fusion center. Hello, Mr. Jones. How are you? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. I don't think I've seen you in forever. So he's Mr. Jones has got a. Good to see you too, hon. Let's get this off the screen. See, the right created the fusion centers across the U.S. Look up the rabbit hole. Yeah. Yes, me too, Mr. Jones. I have been extremely busy. I can't believe 6 months has gone by. I can't believe I've been home for 6 months. I can't believe I've been back in Chicago for literally over 6 months now. It's kind of crazy. Kind of wow. But yeah, and so fusion centers are collaborative hubs that gather and analyze information from federal, state, and local agencies to detect, prevent, and respond to criminal and terrorist activity. They serve as a central point for law enforcement and public safety agencies to share intelligence and coordinate efforts to protect communities. Fusion centers collect, analyze, and distribute intelligence to support their partners, but they have also faced scrutiny over concerns about civil liberties, data privacy, and oversight. So are these the data centers that they're building like in Texas? Is that the AI buildings? They track people from state to state. Yeah, okay. So I got in the mail today my real ID because I did not want to get it. I held off as long as I possibly could, but I am flying next Friday, a week from this Friday. I'm going to Phoenix for I don't even know. I get in Friday morning and I fly out Sunday dinner time. So I'm there a little over about 36 hours, something like that. A little over 48 hours. Real quick in and out, going to a memorial service for one of my really good friends. So I needed to have it because I don't have a passport, and you can't get a passport as fast as I needed it. So I had to go get my real ID. And when I went there the first time, so I went online and I saw what I needed. And I had that. I had my birth certificate. I had my social security card. I had bank statement with my address. I also had my driver's license, which has my address on it. I never changed it. It's been here since I moved here in 2015. When I went to Phoenix last year, my license wasn't expired, so I was thinking about getting it changed, but I never did. But it expired my birthday this year in July. So I went and I got a regular license. But again, I'm flying. So they're like, no, you need a real ID to fly. I'm like, I'm not going out of the country. I'm going from Chicago to Phoenix. And they're like, no, you still need a real ID. So I get there and my birth certificate has my maiden name on it. My marriage license has Alexander on it, which is not the name on my birth certificate. And then my driver's license has Swan on it. So they're like, how did you get from your maiden name on your birth certificate to Alexander. And I said, I got married. Do you have that paperwork? Oh, no. I was like 1984. Thank God I didn't have anything with Christian on it because they'd want, how did you get from Alexander to Christian? Oh, Lord. Thank God. I don't even acknowledge that marriage anyways, but I had to come back home and I had to get my, I had it on file because I needed it before my divorce from my kid's father. And I had to prove to them how I went from my maiden name to Alexander and then from Alexander to Swan. And I finally got it in the mail today. I was stressing. I was like, what if I don't have it? They're like, well, then you got to get to the airport like 3 hours beforehand. You're going to have to go through an extended whatever ID check or whatever. I'm like, oh dear God, I've already got to be at the airport at like 3:30 in the morning. I might as well just camp out there, but I don't have to now. So, cause I do have my real ID, but yeah, they said that it was, because I said to her, I said, I've been through all this when I got it switched from Arizona in 2015. And then when I came in, 2020, when I got married, I was like, I came in here and I said, I gave you guys everything. I gave you guys the marriage certificate. I gave you guys everything. She's like, yeah, I know, but that was for the state. This is for the federal government. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, the real ID is federal, not state. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. So, yeah. I thought that was quite interesting. What the hell? Yeah, I thought that was quite interesting that it's the federal. So, whatever. Dave's got his TWIC card too. Yeah. Yeah, he's got his TWIC card and he's got his real ID too. But a TWIC card is, you have to go through a check, ID check to have access to the ports and like the port of where they pick up port of Wilmington, port of Baltimore. They've got ports down in Port Arthur, ports down in all along the coast, wherever ships pull in and have cargo. So Dave's allowed to go onto those facilities and pick up freight. So he has a TWIC card. That's what it is. And you have to go through a background check. You have to give, it's legit. I was going to get mine. I still might. I don't know. Maybe I don't need it now that I've got the real ID, but because I'm on the truck with them a lot, and I'm going to be going back on the truck with them too. So, yeah, I know. I don't want to fly, but unfortunately, I have to. I don't want to be gone for very long because we've got the new kittens and stuff. So, well, they're not new. They're, but. So, I don't know where this is going to lead us. But this has opened up the door to some pretty questionable things as far as with this guy. I know what I wanted to show you guys. Hold on. Did you guys know that the mayor of New York was a rapper? Oh, yeah, he was a rapper. He was known as Mr. Cardamom, I think it was. Hold on a second. Mr. Cardamom. Yeah, that was it. He was known as Young Cardamom, and then he went to Mr. Cardamom. And let me see if I can find a... Okay, let's get your here. Let's get this off of here. Yeah, he was a rapper. Yeah, see, I kind of was looking for it earlier today. What? This one.
first as young Cardamom and then Mr. Cardamom. And
hold on a minute, it's doing something goofy here. There we go. Wanted to do picture-in-picture. I've never had that happen before.
I don't know. His music's pretty cool. I was listening to some of it and learning some of the history that.
Did it again.
Like even before the running for mayor and stuff, like he had a video in 2019 go kind of viral, not because of him, but because of the celebrity chef and actor that was in it. One of his songs was on the soundtrack to a Disney film that he was the music supervisor of, and his mother directed it. So I guess he kind of has some film connections in there too.
It's been a very musical New York City election this year. I mean, Rolling Stone is writing about Zohran's rap career. Pitchfork published a playlist by him, and he really came into focus for me when he opened for MJ Lenderman. Zohran, who...
Okay, let me see if I can find his video. I don't know if this is it or not.
I'm going to make you a countryside chicken.
Now, Mom, we're not...
Yeah, this is it.
Side chicken curry.
My name is Praveen. Hello, everyone.
£1.5 of chicken. Stir and fry it again.
Mom? You're living in our house now, Mom. We're not living in yours. Why do I have to keep telling you this? And then on Wednesday, you forget to pick up Nikhil from school. All of your meddling and these questions and the TV serials cause you to lose sight of the fact that you are not a good nanny.
The best damn nanny that you ever done seen. Fuck top 5 nannies and fuck top 3. I'm the #1 nanny. Don't fuck with me. Fuck any of the nannies as they bury the ravine. Cause I'm 85 years old, 85 years old, 85 years with my family on my back. So I'll outlast everybody on my fucking haters. Don't know me now, then you never know me later. Say, I be in an elevator to the top. Go and find your own way there. Drinking a little water ball for me by my way.
All right. Yeah, Mama. Okay. Wow. Behind me, Satan. Anyways, guys. Okay. Yeah. So. Boy. That's New York's finest mayor. That's it. That's yeah. Yes. All right, guys. I'm gonna get off here. I'm tired. I would like to, I don't know, try to think if next Wednesday, I think I'm going to wait until I get back to get a hold of John to start up our Wednesday nights again. Only because I've got a bunch of stuff I've got to do before I go. So, and I'm fighting with the insurance company on getting my car fixed. So, and fighting with somebody to get me the rental car. I don't know who I'm supposed to fight with yet. I haven't gotten one yet. So when did it become so embarrassing? I know, right? It's secondhand embarrassment, isn't it? It's like I'm so embarrassed for her, for crying out loud. Are you kidding me? Good Lord. All right, guys, I'm going to get off here. I still don't know when I'm going to be over on Stuck in the Middle. I want to make sure that I have all my ducks in a row because I really want. I guess some of my posts over on Facebook have come across as not very nice. I don't know how to say it. So I want to make sure that I'm very well prepared for defending my stance when it comes to the true biblical Israel, the true biblical chosen. So, so I want to make sure that that's all ready to go. Oh. All right, guys, let me pull up our outro. If I can find it. I have it with music? Nope, videos. All right. All right, I want to thank everybody in the chat room. I want to thank all of our moderators as always. And until next time, guys, remember, eyes open, no fear.